Hi everyone and welcome to today's painting tutorial. So today I'm going to take you through how I painted this retro Badab War Space Shark, more in the modern era known as Carcharodons. So over a white sky undercoat I'm just going to apply some BRIAR Queen Chill contrast paint and just looking at doing one coat straight from the pot over the entirety of the power armor. And after having given the BRIAR Queen Chill a little bit of time to dry, around 15 to 20 minutes, I'm now going to use some BASILICANUM Grey and Contrast Medium and looking at a half-half mix of this. And for the most part, following over the BRIAR Queen Chill, you'll notice that I do leave some of the BRIAR Queen Chill alone, and that's for the most part for when we get to the highlighting stage. I just didn't want to darken all of the power armor. But for the most part, just working through the recesses and just layering a nice smooth coat over the power armor as well. And now to just further darken certain parts of the power armor, I'm just going to stipple on some BASILICANUM Grey straight from the pot. And you'll notice at this point as well, the model is looking a little bit messy. However, once we get to the highlight stages, it'll all really begin to come together. And now to help tie all of the power armor in, I'm just going to begin shading even further with Corvus Black and LAHMIAN Medium, and again a half-half mix for this. So for the most part, just following over the previous BASILICANUM grey stage that we did. And yeah, really just trying to focus this mostly in the recesses and around details such as the bolts here. And now to begin highlighting all of the power armor, I'm just going to use ADMINISTRATUM Grey. And for the most part, as you'll see, we're just going to be doing some edge highlighting and also some small scratches over all of the power armor as well. And for this stage, just so you can see how much it does come together, I did include as much of the footage as I could without it sort of dragging on too long. But just so you can really gauge how I sort of went about doing this. And now I'm just going to do a light dry brush of ULTHUAN grey. So just make sure you use some paper towel with your dry brushes. Just remove as much of the paint as you can. Paper towels are a really good idea. Of course, you can see all of the paint coming off the brush, and when the dry brush begins to paint a very faint color, that's when you know it'll be ready for a solid dry brush on your miniatures. And now to begin painting the Retro Space Sharks chapter symbol, which I have to say, the first time I saw it, it made me smile. It's sort of funny in a way. It's borderline cartoonish, but I sort of love that because it really does keep with that sort of retro theme. I feel as though the design team back then, perhaps things weren't as sort of strict as they might be now. I'm not really too sure how it all works, but you can really see if you look at the Badab War retro designs, color schemes, and the chapter symbols, you can tell there was a lot of freedom in the designs of those. Different time, of course, but yeah. I had a lot of fun painting it. As you can see here, it sort of just looks like an angry, sort of cartoonish, angry sort of face at the moment. However, once we get the black going and the teeth and everything, it'll start to come together. So I felt as though it would be easier to paint in the red eyes and the mouth as well first, and now I'm just going to do the outline for the shark itself, and then of course once I get that outline done, start working on filling in all of the detail. It's a pretty straightforward chapter symbol for the most part, and if you do intend on doing this scheme at some point, it's a really good place to sort of practice you know, freehand painting chapter symbols, because some are really complicated. The first that comes to mind for most people would of course be the Lamenters chapter, of which I do have a tutorial on. I wouldn't mind revisiting that someday, as I feel as though I could perhaps do it a little bit better now. But for the meantime, just going to keep bringing out those new tutorials. And should mention as well, just mid-video, leave a comment below of something that you might like to see me do in the near future. You know, I really try and take on board what my subscribers would like to see. Yeah, just interested to hear as well what you're working on at the moment. I'm always working on different things. For the most part though, in terms of actual armies, Cities of Sigmar and Eldar are my main go-to at the moment. But yeah, be sure to leave a like on the video as well. If you have any friends new to the hobby or anything like that, be sure to share some videos with them. Again, if they have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So at this point, mostly just smoothing out the details of the shark, and then I'm just going to add the fins. And I should mention as well, a brush that I've been using more and more frequently is my Raphael 8404, and this is a size 3-0. A really nice brush. I've mentioned this in probably most of my videos, but the Raphael, in my opinion, the 8404, sizes 1, 0, and essentially anything below that as well, are really, really good brushes. I've been using them for quite a long time now, and in terms of the sort of better range of brushes out there for miniature painting, they really do fall in a category of, you know, sort of covering all the bases. They're affordable, they hold really well for a long time, and yeah, just really, really good brushes. So I highly recommend you use them, as they are, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call them budget high quality brushes, but they are in terms of how well they hold up. I would say that they're one of the better options overall compared to other high quality brushes brands out there. And as you can see as well, just filling in the teeth details. So yeah, you can see sort of why at this point I decided to apply the red first. It's just been that much easier to sort of work around those initial shapes and just work in all the black. Now on the Space Sharks design as well for the Badab War, they do have teeth on the helmet along with that red stripe, of course. So I'm just going to begin. I should mention as well at this point, this model was already fully assembled. However, if you do go ahead with this game, I'd recommend painting the helmet separately, as getting the teeth details in on the other side was pretty difficult. And now just using some dead white by Vallejo. However, any white acrylic will work just fine. I'm just going to begin putting in some little highlights on the teeth, and although it's very small, just do your best to try and keep some of the black outline for the teeth. So yeah, almost just like dot point highlights, small, really small little lines. And fortunately as well, you know, as you can see, the teeth on the helmet are a little bit bigger, so filling in the white there is pretty easy. And just finishing off the power armor with some white highlights. Now you don't have to go over every single part of the power armor. Just sort of those points that stand out a little bit more, as you can see on the power supply unit backpack here. And just going to add a touch of Fire Dragon Bright to the lenses there, just as a final highlight. You can really do whatever you want with the lenses, and including the other details coming up for the rest of the video. Yeah, purely optional. I just wanted to add a few extra little details to it, and thought I'd include them in the video as well. So I also wanted to use Old Copper by scale 75. So just applying that over all of the metallic parts. And as I just mentioned, purely optional at this point, but I decided to add some ASURMEN blue and contrast medium, looking at a 50-50 mix of this, and just applying it over all of the gun casing and all of the copper as well, and also the pouches. The reason I sort of chose blue was just thinking it'd be a bit of fun, is to go with the sort of essence of the ocean, them being the space sharks and all that. But have a play around with it. You know, even if you just sketch down some basic sort of concept ideas, you can sort of figure out whatever colors that you want to add to this color scheme if you do decide to paint this scheme. And as a final touch, just over the gun casing, and of course the pouches as well, I'm just going to add some ABADDON black and LAHMIAN medium. Just to sort of help tone down the vibrancy of the contrast paint a little bit. And then just going back to Old Copper by scale 75, and just simply going to go and touch up the metallics and just highlight them a little bit. And here are some photos of the completed retro Badab War Space Shark. So I hope you found this tutorial useful today. Please leave a comment below if you enjoyed the video and anything you'd like to see me do in the near future. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one.